A 73-year-old man outfished an entire bass tournament using a $2 bottle. Nobody believed it until the game warden checked his cooler in East Texas. 47 pounds of catfish and largemouth caught on one rod all morning. His secret was sitting right there next to his tackle box in plain sight. A warm flat bottle of Coca-Cola he never took a single sip from. What he did with it is something the fishing industry prays you never learn. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. Hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss secrets like this, because what I am about to show you changes the way you fish forever. Let us get into it. His name was Roy Dawson from outside Nacogdoches in deep East Texas. Every Saturday morning, he drove his old Ford pickup to Sam Rayburn Reservoir before sunrise, while everyone rigged up crankbaits and plastics worth $40. Roy sat on his bucket with a Coke bottle and a bag of flour, poured half the Coke into a dented tin cup and added 2 fistfuls. The paste turned dark brown, almost black, with a sticky wet shine on top. He rolled marble-sized balls and pressed them right onto a bare treble hook, cast out with his old cane pole, and just waited. 10 minutes later, the rod bent hard. Channel cat after channel cat coming out of that water nonstop. The others on the bank were burning through expensive attractants. Roy kept pulling fish on something that cost $2.12. It was not luck. It was chemistry. Coca-Cola contains phosphoric acid at 0.5%. When it hits water, it creates a microshift in the local pH, tiny for humans, massive for a fish. Chemoreceptor cells in their nostrils detect this from 50 feet away. It is like an invisible flare going off under the dark surface. The caramelized sugar creates a cloud that mimics organic decay. The carbonation releases bubbles that simulate larvae on the bottom. 3 triggers at once that no product on any shelf can replicate. Auburn-confirmed fish respond 80% faster to sugar compounds than to any synthetic attractant formula currently sold in stores today. But this Coca-Cola method is just one of many the industry buried. There are over 15 more using regular kitchen ingredients you already own. I put them all inside a complete guide called The Angler's Vault. Inside, you get homemade bait recipes that outperform $30 lures, chemical attraction secrets that no tackle shop will ever teach you, and chumming methods that turn dead water into a fish magnet overnight. It is all waiting at the first link in the description right below. But stay right here because this video is only getting started. This next part will make you furious at the entire tackle industry. They spend millions every single year convincing you to buy synthetic formulas. Tiny bottles priced between $12 and $20 with fancy imported labels. Walk into any Bass Pro or Cabela's and count the attractant bottles on the shelves. Rows and rows of products with scientific sounding names and slick, impressive packaging. Want to know what is actually inside most of those premium attractant products? Concentrated sugar syrup mixed with citric acid and artificial food coloring. The exact same chemical profile as a regular bottle of Coca-Cola from the gas station, repackaged in a small bottle with a markup of 400% over production cost. Attractant profit margins are among the highest in the entire tackle industry worldwide. That is exactly why no shop anywhere on this planet will suggest Coca-Cola instead. Their whole business model depends on you never learning what I just told you today. They built a $1 billion wall between you and a $2 solution sitting in your fridge. But Roy Dawson figured this out decades before any lab coat ever ran a study on it. He learned it from his daddy, who mixed molasses and cornmeal back in the 1950s. That knowledge got passed down from father to son on the banks of East Texas reservoirs. The logic has not changed in 60 years of American freshwater fishing, and it never will. Sugar attracts because it mimics natural decay and fires every chemical sense a fish has. Science finally proved what those old-timers already knew by pure instinct and experience. And the method evolved because we now know exactly how to amplify each single ingredient. It is not about dumping soda in a bowl and hoping something bites out there on the water. There's a precise ratio, and there are specific boosters that change everything dramatically. 3 variations of this recipe designed for 3 completely different water conditions. One for clear water lakes, and one for muddy bayou water, and one for tournament pressure. Each one costs under $2 and uses ingredients already sitting in your kitchen. So pay close attention now because I am about to teach you the full method step by step. If you miss this next detail, none of it is going to work the way it should for you. The best part of this video starts right now. Let us start with the basic recipe that Roy used on Sam Rayburn for decades. Grab a 20-ounce bottle of regular Coca-Cola and not the zero sugar version. It has to be regular because the diet version has no caramelized sugar inside. Pour half the bottle into a wide, shallow container like a tin cup or plastic bowl. Add 3 heaping tablespoons of all-purpose flour right on top of the liquid. Mix it slowly with your fingers until it forms a sticky, uniform paste. The right consistency is when it sticks to your finger without dripping off. Too wet, then add another half spoon of flour and work it in slowly. Too dry, then add a splash of Coke and knead it until it loosens up. The final color should be dark brown, almost black, with a wet, glossy sheen. That is the classic version that works in 90% of normal conditions. Roll it into marble-sized balls and you have bait for a full morning. Simple as that. Now pay attention because these two advanced variations are game changers. The first one is built for clear water where fish can see everything. In clear water you need more subtlety and less of a heavy attraction cloud. Same Coke and flour base, but add 1 tablespoon of fine ground cornmeal. The cornmeal adds a gritty texture that breaks apart slowly underwater. It creates a trail of tiny particles that the fish follows right to your hook. Works incredibly well on crappie because they are curious visual feeders. Also deadly on bluegill and bream that love chasing microparticles. The second variation is designed for muddy and stained water conditions. When visibility drops to near zero, the fish relies entirely on smell and taste. Take the same base and add 1 tablespoon of fresh crushed raw garlic. Garlic contains allicin, which is a sulfur compound that travels fast in murky water. That chemical signal cuts through the mud and reaches fish hiding on the bottom. Channel catfish and flatheads respond to this mix like it is a dinner bell. Bottom feeders have barbels loaded with hypersensitive chemical receptors. The allicin activates those receptors from a distance of over 60 feet. Combined with the phosphoric acid, it becomes an underwater bomb. Nothing sold in stores comes close to this combination. The third variation is the most powerful one, and it is built for pressure. When you are fishing a spot that gets hit hard every weekend by other anglers, swap half the flour for fine breadcrumbs bought from the baking aisle. Add 1 capful of pure vanilla extract from the confectionery section. Mix it well and let it rest for 10 minutes in a covered container in shade. During that time, the carbonation escapes, and the paste gets denser and firmer. This version works as a slow-release bait that keeps producing for hours, while everyone else has to rebait every 20 to 30 minutes around you. Your hook is still working and pulling fish while you sit back in your chair. Largemouth bass and trophy catfish go absolutely crazy for the vanilla version. Now, here's a critical detail. Most people get this completely wrong and it ruins everything. The temperature of the Coke when you mix changes everything about the result. If you use it ice cold straight from the cooler, the reaction is slow and weak. Room temperature is ideal because the gas escapes faster and mixes better. The phosphoric acid also dissolves into the flour more evenly when not chilled. Another fatal mistake I see constantly is mixing too fast with a spoon or stick. That traps air bubbles in the paste and makes it float instead of sinking down. Always mix slowly with your bare hands and squeeze out every pocket of air. If you want the bait sitting on the bottom where the big ones feed, you need patience. Let us talk about which species respond best to each variation of the recipe. The classic flour version catches almost everything in American freshwater systems. Channel catfish, largemouth bass, crappie, bluegill, and even small stripers hit it hard. The one species that does not respond well is pike, because they want live movement. But if you press a small piece of raw shad belly into the Coke paste ball, even pike will strike because the combo sends both chemical and prey signals. No predator can resist that dual trigger in dark water near structure or drop-offs. To keep your prepared paste fresh during a long session, store it in the shade. It stays effective for up to 6 hours without refrigeration in warm weather. After that, the sugar ferments and the smell shifts from sweet to sour and acidic. Fish hate fermented acid smells because they associate it with toxic conditions. So prepare only what you need for the day and toss whatever is left at the end. A single 20-ounce bottle gives you enough paste for at least 2 full sessions. That comes out to about $1.10 per fishing trip. Think about that. Compare it to the 15 or 20 you drop on one attractant bottle. The math is devastating for the tackle industry and liberating for any angler. That is why the secret stayed buried for so long in the backwaters of this country. And if you want to go even deeper into this kind of ancestral fishing knowledge, every homemade bait recipe and chumming secret the tournament pros hide from you. The ingredient combinations that outperform anything on any tackle shop shelf today. It is all inside the angler's vault waiting at the first link in the description. Click it right now and start fishing the way the old timers always meant you to. If this video showed you something new, smash that like button right now. Know somebody who needs to see this? Send it to your fishing buddy today. And if you want to keep uncovering what the tackle industry hides from real anglers, subscribe and hit the bell because every subscription keeps this channel alive. Every video we put out is another crack in the wall they built around your knowledge.